Hey there everyone, this is the second video I'm doing of this 8th anniversary. This is going to be the hatching one. So both the eggs are out now, so we can now make an informed decision about what to hatch for. It is very much the second egg. I am not interested at all in the first egg, as I talked about last time. So yeah, we're just going to basically skip over that. I will just very briefly mention again why I'm skipping it, which is basically the mythic is no good. The Legendary is also not very good. Now, the devs have already come out and said that they plan to buff the Mythic, because they were worried when designing it that it might be a bit too strong with some of the stuff it was doing. But basically, they went a bit too safe, and so it's clearly not good enough. I mean, I think it's probably the worst Mythic in the game. As for the Legendaries in there are some great ones, but I have them all already, basically. Straw Baba is the new one, and it's just not particularly good. I think it's probably going to get buffed too in the future. It's the kind of design that they definitely had to go safe with. Honghua, I don't know what they were going for. But anyway, so we're going for the second egg. And just to briefly talk about the monsters in this egg, and yes, by the way, I am censoring this artwork. I think it's absolutely horrendous. If you agree, go complain on the forum. I am going to be complaining on the forum because this has gone way too far. This and Breederlith that we got this year, I really do not like the art at all. But talk about the moveset, because that's what I care about more than anything else. It's really high speed and also got full defense. That is just ideal. And weirdly, it's 16 cost, and my god, this is a really strong mythic. Both this and the legendary in this egg are really, really good. So this should really be 17 cost, to be honest. But anyway, so it's a poison monster. If you just look at the passives first, it poisons anything that enters. It poisons anything that touches it. Because it's got its really high defense, it's great to tank attacks, but it can also do bind plus. So the general kind of setup of what you do here is, well, actually, I'll talk about the side bit of it first, which is that it's high speed and it has the raw twin knockback and the venom times up. So venom times up is not super high damage because it's got low attack, but in the front line, this can really do a lot of different things. Like, we have not seen a twin knockback on something this fast. So it can very easily disrupt what the enemy team's doing. It's even raw, so it can go around protectors. It can counter any chrono monsters, which are pretty common. That's also venom, so we'll get through the whole ground type stuff. So it can counter enemy lineups really nicely. And then also it's got this bind plus, which gives it a shield, makes it tanky, and pushes an enemy out of play. So if you can't knock back, or you just want to take down a particular enemy, you can bind plus rather than raw twin knockback, and in fact bind plus is kind of the ideal thing to do because that passes 250 seconds, which is exactly what you need to pass to do the virulent grasp. Virulent grasp is basically like a poison eater but really powerful, and it also heals her, and because after using bind plus she has a defense buff, she heals really nicely and tanks stupidly well. So this is kind of, I don't know exactly where it's going to stand in terms of best mythics, but it's kind of getting close to a Carmilla level in terms of how it plays, and it's very fast and disruptive, so it can do really well with that. The secret skill boosts the attack, so then the venom times up is going to do good damage. Doesn't really matter for the virulent grasp, but it matters for the venom times up. And then the healing is nice after she's done the bind plus. So basically she can do bind plus, get tanky. If she's still alive when she gets around to getting a turn, she can heal up and then start using virulent grasp to kill off new enemies. And anything that's come in and during that time will be poisoned, so then she can virulent grasp them. And it all just kind of plays into itself super well. So a thing to say about the defense buff, this basically gives the defense cap and then also, I believe, a 50% damage reduction. That's what I could tell from my testing. So what it means in practice is she basically takes about 1/3 damage. So that's her. She looks incredible. I'm definitely awakening her in this video. As for the other legendaries, there are various ones that are really good here. Tenebris is amazing. It is basically the best legendary for PvE, if not the best monster in the game for PvE. Chimunka has some interesting stuff going on with it for PvE, not going to go into that, but the other two, also very cool. I love Skull and Dragon. As for the new legendary, this decent speed, defense not amazing, but that's kind of fine. It kind of needs the attack being reasonably high anyway. It's also a beast for that being relevant for some monsters. Stunning entrance with that speed is actually pretty good. Like, it's going to get a turn quite nicely. without too much disrupting it. You know, as long as they don't have stun protection, it's going to come in, get a turn well. And then Stun Converter makes it basically a good sweeper when it gets to that. Guardian Execute, so it counters protectors nicely. It can stun something into Time Strike Double. That's great, especially because it's a 30-second stun. And, you know, it's already stunned when it's entered, so it's either set up Time Strike Double on a stun absorber, or things have changed and you can then stun something else and Time Strike Double. Sorry for the clearing throat there. I'm recovering from a cold, but I am got a bit of a cough still. Karma Chain is the unique move, and that's actually really, really good. So the important thing about this is it doesn't have to be used on an enemy with a kill. It can be used on any enemy. It just happens to also reset the number of kills to 0, and then when they get another kill, then they die, and it ignores the revenge. So it's kind of like Terminal Virus, but doesn't have the restriction of only going on high HP enemies, and when it triggers is when they get a kill, which is kind of when they become a problem. So, all that said, let's get into hatching and see what I can get. Yes, hopefully I can awaken this quick. Oh yes, first 10 pack I get a mythic. Nice, this should go well. Well, maybe a little early to say, you know, we've only got one here, but it looks like it is the new mythic. Also, my recorder is somewhat awkward, so I may lose some recording in this. I'll have to do it in multiple recordings, so we'll see. So anyway, there we go. Got the first copy. We've got 3 more copies to go. Alright, I did reset the recording, so hopefully that one was saved, and we will keep the others. If you watched my video a few days ago, where I was talking about all the anniversary changes and the update and that kind of stuff, I lost some recordings in that. I managed to cover for some of it, but I recorded me hatching the Guaranteed Mythic 10-pack, and oh yes, 2 Tenebris, nice. Yes, there we go, 2 6R tickets. So yes, I recorded doing the Guaranteed Mythic 10-pack, and that recording didn't save, and so I couldn't cover that. That was, you know, I either had that recorded or not. But here we're going to, we're hopefully going to capture everything. Oh, new Legendary. Okay, is this the new one? I mean, I feel like I'm guaranteed to get it while I awaken the Mythic. Okay, no, it's not. It's Chimunka. I also don't have Shiny Utopian, so any of those will actually be good. I'm going to skip over some of these as well, just so we can get through this a little bit quicker. I don't want this video to go too long, partly because my voice is not with me completely, and partly because I know you're here for the Mythic Awakening, not for getting all these epics and super epics. So we'll skip over those. I'll stay for the legendaries, and yeah, we'll see how long it takes me to awaken this mythic. Oh, that's a poor pack. 1 super epic, 9 epics. Let's see, what are we on? We're on pack number 5. Okay, so we're halfway to that guaranteed mythic. So if you're wondering which eggs to go in, you know, it's pretty clear from what I'm saying here. Go for this second egg, not the first one. As for whether or not to go for the first one, it really depends on do you count on it being buffed in the future? Do you have enough gems to kind of speculate on it? Because as it stands right now, I do not think there's any reason to get it. As for the legendary, it's kind of interesting, but I don't think it's worth going for in a big way. If you've got a lot of gems and, you know, you could spare doing 10 packs in it, and you want to get the guaranteed mythic and to see, you know, see what you get, maybe get the new legendary, that's what you're hoping for, go ahead. But if you are tight on gems, which I assume most people would be, because if you want to go for this mythic, you know, it's going to cost you a lot of gems. So I'd recommend just going for this one and ignoring that first one. Also, something I didn't really mention in the last video is for the Neo ticket, which gives you a guaranteed mythic. 2 mythics. Oh, nice, nice, nice. Okay, I'm going to shut up for a bit while we watch what happens here. So that's the guaranteed one in the 10th slot, I think. I think that was my 10th pack. Okay, yeah, first shard, second shard. Oh, are we going to get it in 11 packs like I did those years ago with Wilhelmina? Maybe, maybe. Yeah, that was the 10th pack. Okay, cool. So that was the guaranteed one. We may need to go another 10 packs before we actually see any mythic. We'll see. Okay, so back to what I was saying. The Neo ticket, that goes until the end of the year. And I highly recommend saving it until you get to that point. Because You may, get some kind of mythic along the way, or get close to awakening mythic, and then you decide, okay, I want to go for that one with my Neo ticket to get it awakened, or get it close to awakened. Much better to just wait until then, unless you're itching to go for something. Yes, okay, cool, we got the new Legendary. I was really hoping to get that because it does look very good. I really like monsters which have stunning entrance plus a good moveset. They fit very nicely into a team where you want to have some kind of interaction with your opponent at that point in your team, but you want to also have, a good monster that does other stuff, rather than just like, okay, it's a high speed monster and I need something to come in and do something, so I need it to be high speed, but it's not as good as, these other low speed monsters you've got. So stunning entrance on a monster like that works really nicely because you can kind of fit that in as your interaction. It's going to give you a little bit of wiggle room to get back into the battle while not really, downplaying your team at all, because it's a decent monster that you can fit in. Okay, so I knew this was going to happen. It stopped recording. I think I got up to the 14th pack and then it stopped. So as you can see, I went to 20 packs and then I got the final copy. I didn't get any other mythics in that, so I actually ended up averaging out, getting 2 natural mythics in 20 packs, which is, what you expect, plus then the 2 guaranteed ones. I happened to get lucky where all of them were the featured mythic. I didn't get any of the standard pool. In those last 6 packs, just, in case you're interested, I basically got mostly epics. I got 1 pack with 3 legendaries in, which I think it was a Chimunka and then 2 Tenebris. So I didn't get the shiny Utopian. I just got a lot of Tenebris this time. So anyway, so we managed to awaken the mythic. Sorry for not catching that on video at the end, but we did get all the stuff. Came out, pretty lucky, pretty average. I don't know where to place it, but either way, very happy with this new mythic. So yes, best of luck in your own anniversary hatching. I hope it goes well for you. I, picked tactically to go only for the second egg, and as you can see, cost me 800 gems. I awakened a mythic. It's a really strong one. This is the way you should play the game, to be perfectly honest. In fact, I have a gems guide which I recorded at the very start of this year, which basically goes through that kind of thing, that I never released. I will be releasing that fairly soon. But otherwise, I'm going to be going into my normal series that I like to do at this point of the year, where we look at all the monsters that came out in the last year, breaking them down by element, as well as talking about general things like the way design is going, and major changes that happen in the year, that kind of thing, rounding it all up. And if you are like me and you really like to understand how everything works and to really see what's going on with the stuff, dive into that. It's going to be, they're fairly lengthy videos, but I go into great depth about all that stuff and hopefully give a lot of useful insight for all that kind of thing. So if you're interested in that, check it out when it comes. And otherwise, I will see you at the end of the year, where I'm going to be using all my rare gems, because if you saw it all, I'm not sure if it popped up on screen, on the hatching screne. Now it does. I've got close to 500 rare gems. So I'm going to be doing my usual thing at Christmas, using all my rare gems and seeing what we get, see how many mythics we get. So far, every year, I've got either average or below average. So I'm really hoping that this year will be the year and I'll get above average, but we'll see. So hope you're looking forward to that. I'll see you then, and best of luck once again.